On August 18, 1944, Sheila Fox was on her way home after school, but she never reached home, and what became of the 6-year-old from Farnworth, Lancashire is still a mystery. Dubbed by the press as the girl in the green mac, Sheila Fox was born in January of 1938 to George Henry Fox and his wife Miriam Ursula Fox. Youngest of the 5 siblings, Sheila lived at MacDonald Avenue and was a student at St. James Primary School in Newbury, Farnworth. The Second World War, which torn the life of millions of people apart, was finally coming to an end, bringing in hopes for a better and prosperous future ahead. But for Mr. and Mrs. Fox, life was going to take an unexpected turn. August 18, 1944, Sheila left her school at around 4 p.m. In the short journey from St. James Primary School to her home at MacDonald Avenue, something happened to the 6-year-old, which has left people wondering for over 8 decades. When Sheila didn't return home that day, tensions spurred and her parents notified the cops about her disappearance. A posse comprising of police and volunteers, which included the ranks of air raid warden and special constables, was formed, and it combed each and every inch of the town, but there was no sign of the young girl anywhere. According to some of her friends, they had seen Fox walking with a man outside a bakery and was later seen sitting on the crossbar of the bicycle the man was riding. One of her friends said that she talked with Sheila herself, and when she asked her where she was going, Sheila replied, "I'm going with this man." Witnesses say that they last saw Sheila and the stranger heading away from 4-lane ends down Newbrook Road. The man seen with Sheila was described as a slim, clean-shaven and well-dressed male who was about 25 to 30 years of age. Sheila, according to her parents, was a shy girl and wouldn't have interacted with someone she wasn't familiar with. This led investigators to believe whoever was behind her disappearance was someone acquainted with Sheila and her family, someone local. Police began looking for this man. Copies of a missing person notice along with the description of the man were distributed throughout the town. Police received multiple tips, but none of them proved to be significant, and they were unable to find any trace of both Sheila and the man she was last seen with. Her case garnered attention of the press, and several articles about her disappearance were published in newspapers. But as it was in those days, the story of the 6-year-old from Bolton was soon overshadowed by the events of the Second World War. In 1948, authorities tried to link her disappearance with a tall, thin man who was described as a dangerous killer and was wanted for stabbing 2 kids, but this, same as the others, proved to be a dead end. Life went on without Sheila Fox, and people had completely forgotten about her. But in the summer of 2001, almost 6 decades after she went missing, police received new information about the case, and the name Sheila Fox was back in news. An elderly man on his deathbed stated that when he was 13-year-old, he saw his neighbor digging a hole in his garden late at the night of August 18, 1944. The neighbor the old man was referring to was identified as Robert Ryan, who was 20 years old at the time of Sheila's disappearance and was convicted of rape in 1950 and was charged with indecent assault in 1965. Robert, a miner by profession, moved out of the house in 1948, spent rest of his life in Bolton area and died in 1989. On June 5, 2001, authorities, in an effort to finally resolve the decades-old mystery, excavated the site, but their search, which lasted 5 days, failed to produce any significant result. Almost 8 decades have passed since Sheila's disappearance, and what was her fate is still a mystery. As her body was never found, nor any evidence suggesting a foul play, police has always considered her case as a missing person case. For a long time, her family believed that Sheila was alive and believed that if anything terrible were to happen, police would have found her. They were convinced that Sheila was either abducted by someone or that Sheila went to London, as some of her schoolmates were refugees from the war-torn capital. Sheila's sister Betty Rigby recalled that 3 months before Sheila went missing, she saw an unfamiliar couple commenting how lovely child Sheila was and that they would like to take her with them. Betty said that the couple sounded like they were Londoners and she never saw them after Sheila's disappearance. Throughout the remainder of their life, George and Miriam were hopeful that their child was safe and would someday return to them. The old couple always left their door unlocked in case Sheila decided to come home. Sadly, George and Miriam passed away, not knowing what happened to their child. Sheila's older sister Renee said that Sheila's disappearance was a terrible time for the whole family as it left all of them feeling empty. We never even found her shoes or a ribbon. It was just as if the earth had swallowed her up, said Renee in 2001. Thanks for watching our video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and share our videos with your friends and family as it can help us expand our reach. Stay tuned for our next video. Until then, goodbye.